Negril generates 30% of that income that Mr. Bartlett is speaking about, and yet Negril is still a dump. When are we going to see some of that money? Negril, where is it? Negril, because the regional down in Negril.
In a bold move, the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Elaine Bradley, is calling on Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett to allocate an equitable portion of Jamaica's record-breaking tourism earnings to the development of the resort town of Negril. Mrs. Bradley contends that despite attracting a substantial 30% of the earnings, Minister Bartlett highlighted in his update on the sector in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, December 12, and his revelation in September 2022 that Negril raked in close to US $1 billion in earnings last year, the resort town has not seen commensurate improvements and still resembles, in her words, a dump. During an interview with Negril Times following Minister Bartlett's presentation, Mrs. Bradley expressed concern over the apparent neglect of Negril despite the remarkable tourism growth projected for Jamaica in 2023.
Every tourist that lands on this island pays $20 per head. You can do the maths. 30% of that is Negril. And Negril has not got back any.
Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to announce estimates indicating that the island should record a total of 4,122,100 visitors for the period January to December 2023. In terms of tourism earnings, Madam Speaker, this influx of visitors expected to generate a whopping $4.265 billion in 2023.
Minister Bartlett's announcement of a record-breaking year in visitor arrivals and tourism earnings prompted Mrs. Bradley to call for an urgent attention to be directed towards Negril's development. She argues that the town, which is responsible for a significant 30% of the total earnings, continues to lack the infrastructure and aesthetics deserving of such a vital tourism hub. Mrs. Bradley emphasized that the billions in projected tourism revenue should translate into visible improvements for Negril, which, according to her, has been overlooked for far too long.
I am impressed that all the money is coming into the country and tourism is doing well. And from Mr. Bartlett's speech, he is one of the best, no doubt about it. Hands down, he's one of our best marketing agents for Jamaica and tourism. And he's brought a lot into the industry. And I'm not knocking that. But my point is, where is the money going? Negril generates 30% of that income that Mr. Bartlett is speaking about, and yet Negril is still a dump.
Negril, because the regional down in Negril. The indications are that at the end of the next quarter, December 31st, we will again show significant growth to make it the 11th consecutive quarter of growth. I just wanted to indicate to the public a little bit about the value of that kind of revenue inflow. Because it is often that we say tourism don't benefit us and the money don't stay here. I just wanted to give you an indication of this. What this $4.265 billion mean in the first instance. And this instance is now before the visitor even reached Jamaica properly. He just book and pay. Doesn't consume one item. It doesn't even breathe our air yet.
Mrs. Bradley pointed out that a thriving Negril benefits not only the local community, but also contributes significantly to the national tourism sector. She urged Minister Bartlett to consider strategic investments in the town's infrastructure, sanitation, and overall beautification to enhance the visitor experience and ensure a sustained positive trajectory for the local economy.
Negril does not look good for the visitors that we are bringing here. I am on the ground and I am hearing people saying Negril doesn't look good, and I am ashamed. So why are we getting all this investment, not just investment, tourism coming into the country, And yet the money isn't trickling down so that the people on the ground can see that, yes, tourism is booming and we're feeling part of it.
And here is it. He pays a fees for TEF of 57.5 million US dollars or 8.9 billion Jamaican dollars just to decide to come to Jamaica. The second, the departure tax of 100.6 million US dollars or 15.6 billion Jamaican dollars. Then he pays the airport improvement tax of $28.8 million, 4.47 billion Jamaican that represents. Then he pays the airport passenger levy, and that's 57.5 million US dollars, or again 8.9 billion. And then he pays the passenger fees and charges of some 69 million US, which is 10.7 billion Jamaica. And then he pays now at the Hotel de Garte, that is a room tax. He pays up 22.6 million or 3.5 billion Jamaican dollars. Total overall, Madam Speaker, just for this year, for the fact that 2.8 million stopovers will come, it will mean just on the surface, without any consumption pattern expressed, 336 million US dollars or 52 billion Jamaican dollars into the economy even before the tourists start to breathe air in this country.
I'm telling you, I remember asking Mr. Bartlett once, and I'm sure he remembers this 5 years ago when I was DAC chair. And I asked Mr. Bartlett, what are we going to do for Negril to make Negril look as if it's up and coming and it's thriving? And he said, I am going to make Negril my legacy. And I have not seen it as yet, because every day Negril look worse and worse. And we want to see Negril improve. Not even a green space for the people. I also said to him that our greatest asset is our people, and we should invest in our people. Let them feel it, because if they feel it, they will protect it. And I don't see, you ask any person on the street walking around in Negril, and I'm not talking tourists, and you ask them, all this generation of income and all the tourism industry, they're not knocking that Mr. Bartlett is not doing a good job. He's doing a brilliant job, but they want to feel and see some of that money that is coming.
Negril, renowned for its stunning beaches and vibrant atmosphere, has long been a jewel in Jamaica's tourism crown. However, Bradley contends that the lack of targeted investment has left the town struggling to keep pace with its potential. As the minister's projections suggested, unprecedented earnings for the nation, Bradley believes it is only fair for Negril to receive its fair share of the tourism windfall.
Every tourist that lands on this island pays $20 per head. You can do the maths. 30% of that is Negril. And Negril has not got back any. We have promised. We've had loads of promises. And so, if we're promising and talking, let's walk the talk. And it's not happening. Every time you talk about Negril, people need a green space. They are human beings. They need to feel that the tourism money is coming in and they can see it working for them. They need a green space. They need good roads. 3 roads, major roads are in Negril, and the 3 roads are a disgrace. People live here. They send their kids to school here. And for me, I am fighting for the ordinary people of Negril. I mean the people on the ground that are doing the groundwork. And it's all right that all these tourism, all inclusive, everything. Half the time up to this week, West End has no water. How can people go to work, shower and go to work, if they don't have water? Their garbage is not being collected. All those things need for the people to feel that they are part of the tourism industry and it's working on their behalf, and they will benefit, and they are benefiting not words, not just promises. They think they have been let down by the tourism industry, full stop. Because, as I said before, they are not feeling part of the tourism industry.
She hopes her call will prompt a reassessment of budgetary allocations to ensure that Negril's charm and economic contributions are preserved and enhanced.
They don't feel that they are benefiting from all these millions that are coming into the island. They don't feel it. Because some of them, when you think about their light bill, their water bill, they're getting water bill and they're not even getting water in the pipes. You walk down Negril Street or drive Negril Street, it's littered with garbage. Tourists are asking me, why aren't our garbage collected? You know, those simple little things to let the people know. We need something doing for the people to feel part of tourism. I have asked people on the street walking, oh, tourism is booming. And they say, where? We're not feeling it. And it's the truth. You can come in and if you want the truth, that's what you're going to get. Every time in Parliament, the Prime Minister says how many billions for road patching, for this, that. All the years he's talked about road patching and the billions, Negril has not seen any of it. When are we going to see some of that money? Where is it?
As Minister Bartlett celebrates the robust growth of Jamaica's tourism industry, the spotlight is now on whether Negril will finally receive the attention and investment it deserves. President Elaine Bradley's plea resonates with many locals who share her vision for a Negril that not only attracts tourists but also reflects the true beauty of Jamaica's iconic resort town. The ball is now in the minister's court to consider the equitable distribution of funds to fortify Negril's position as a jewel in Jamaica's tourism crown.